She sits in a glass case, bearing a hand-carved inscription of the Lord's Prayer, while a pleasant smile rests on her happy face, sitting under a mop of red hair. But beneath the case is a sign that reads, "Warning, positively do not open. The Annabelle doll is anything but ordinary."
Fuck the doll.
Today we are going to watch Annabelle Comes Home, and we are drinking dry.
Yes, we are drinking and not yet dried, but we're working on it.
I am Jackson.
I am Angel.
And, we're drinking dry, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Yes.
Just the two of us. All
right, okay, that's enough. Okay, let's not, scare away the audience.
If you want me to sing more.
I will. I'll do it. I will.
But why play a role play?
But why watch a horror movie?
Why not is the
Why
real
not?
question.
Because it's spooky season.
It's spooky season and horror is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Annabelle. I've actually not seen Annabelle movies, I think.
Not as much, probably.
Not as much, probably.
That was a nice lion. That is...
Whoa. I took a big pull.
You got another one?
I took a big pull of this beer right before we started, so... Yep.
So, we are watching Annabelle Comes Home, which is currently the third installment of the Annabelle series, which is, I guess you could say, it's the spin-offs of the Conjuring series.
Yeah.
Because literally right in the beginning of the Conjuring, the first Conjuring is Annabelle. So people obviously wanted movies about Annabelle.
It all started with the doll.
Because the Conjuring was made in 2013, right?
Okay.
And 2015 was the first Annabelle.
Oh.
And that was all these directors. I have no idea what other works that they've done.
Really?
Yeah, because first time stuff. Because the first Annabelle, 2015, directed by John Leonetti.
Never heard of him.
Exactly, right? And then the second Annabelle, which is Annabelle Creation, which is personally my favorite one.
Okay.
Directed by David Sandberg.
David Sandberg? What does that name sound familiar?
I feel like it sounds familiar, but I don't know. And then this one that we're watching, Annabelle Comes Home, which was in 2019, was directed by Gary Dauberman. If I pronounce it right.
Well, we're definitely not film nerds, so
no.
Let's just make that clear right now.
That's just kind of just the basic stats.
Yeah.
And all of these were overlooked and produced by James Wan.
Oh yeah.
Who was the original director of The Conjuring, so that's why his series exploded.
He's like the patriarch.
Yeah, because he created Insidious and the Saw series and
oh my God,
Conjuring
Jesus,
and Annabelle.
Aquaman.
Yeah. Aquaman. I mean, it was a good one.
I fucking love Aquaman.
Yeah. But as in horror stuff, he's done a good job.
Oh yeah.
Great job. He created Lights Out. That's another good
this dude's movie. A fucking icon in horror then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he literally is.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be an icon in horror is very hard. I feel like.
Yeah. It's hard to make people scared.
Well, it's because he deals with more of the paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And that's hard to make. I don't say it's not hard to make it.
It's hard to make it interesting, I feel.
Yeah.
Just
you need to have the right vibe.
Yeah.
So.
You gotta be good at what you do, and what you do probably isn't very nice.
Yeah.
Because you gotta scare the shit out of people.
We're gonna go right into the segment that I forgot.
Oh wow! Professional.
Yes, professional podcast.
Hell yeah!
Quick catch up. There it is.
Oh yeah, quick catch ups.
How are you doing?
Man, I'm a lot better now that I have a beer in my hand. Well, I guess the last time we did this segment,
last week.
Last week, yeah. I didn't have a car.
Right. But
now I do, because last week on, what was it, Tuesday? I lost my car key, and that really sucked. It kind of bummed me out. And thankfully I got a new one now. I got wheels again, so I'm happily moving around.
Yeah, wheels and deals.
Well, I got some wheels. I ain't got no deals for you right now.
What about Happy Meals?
That's a little bit too much because my wallet's a little low.
Yeah, mine's like breathing out dust right now. Just Nothing.
Oh no, mine's like less than dust.
You're just
at this
decaying.
point. No, it's just air. There's just nothing there but air.
Yeah, that's
Right now.
that's about right.
Yeah, don't lose your car keys.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a smart lock hybrid car. Just word of advice.
Yeah.
Have a spare, please. Yeah, and then just, my living situation's about to change.
Yeah.
Because one of my roommates is going to be moving out of the country and, going back to their family. So, just
More
gonna be...
expenses for you.
Yes, more expenses. Depending on how you go about it. So, yeah, we're gonna all have to pick up some slack.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, work is going as it goes, and
Yeah. Work just kind of goes.
yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess a nice thing that happened to me though.
All right.
It wasn't all like doom and gloom. So as I was getting my new car key, I was invited to go hang out with some friends and like play HeroClix.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of fun. I basically spent the Sunday night there. And I did not make it back home, so I had to go straight to work after drinking a couple of Moscow Mules and taking a few shots after every one of my.
You kind of had to suffer the hangover the next day.
A little. I came as close to a hangover as I have ever been there because that was like a minor headache. I don't think it was like a full on hangover.
Yeah, but hangovers have headaches normally, so I mean, kind of.
I didn't feel like I don't know. Like what's a proper hangover like? Like, are you? Is it just that?
It's a lot of headaches.
Okay.
Soreness, and you kind of still feel nauseous a little bit because you've had more liquids than food by that point.
Well, you would know better than me, huh?
Yeah, because I'm Skeletor, so I'm also.
You were kind of a lightweight at first.
Yeah, well.
But I feel like you built up a decent tolerance.
I built up a tolerance, but then like now it's kind of faded again because we don't have as much parties now.
That's true. Times have changed also.
Just because of like, I feel like this year, me and my fiance are busier this year than last year.
That's true. You also have like a lot of things like, I mean,
yeah,
she's your fiance now.
Yeah,
first of all.
yeah. But yeah, is that it from you though?
As far as me, yeah. I mean, it was just me having to work the next day with a bunch of Moscow Mules and like shots of vodka in my system, but. I don't think it was like a full on. It was really just like a light headache and me still like trying to wake up because I stayed up till like 3 a.m. So having to go to work the next day.
Yeah, at like 8 a.m.
Yeah. But I had fun. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Have fun while you can, man.
Yeah.
Like we all got to work, but like we all also need to focus on our fun. I feel so.
Try to anyway.
Yeah, that's me. So what about you, buddy? What have you been up to?
Well, work.
Obviously. I see you there.
For me, it's kind of like the same cycle. I go to work, try to do some schoolwork, and try to work on my novel. Kind of like piece by piece. With everything step by step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually starting 2 new classes. 2 weeks from Sunday. Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday, I get 2 new classes. So, those final projects right now are kind of like, I get kind of self-conscious about my work because
I can completely understand that. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm taking a creative writing class right now and an introduction to literature. Mm-hmm. And the literature essay that I'm writing is actually pretty good. The professor said that like all you need to work on is quotes. So the overall like essay, he said it was good. So I'm like, that's great. As for the creative writing one, I'm just like, I need to make sure that this is like it's unique. It's my own style and stuff. And I'm writing in first person instead of third person because that really challenges me because I've never written in first person and submitted anything like that. So it's pretty tricky, but
But it's also a good way to like develop a new skill too. I mean, I feel like it's only going to make you a stronger writer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're already like a pretty like. I feel like you're a really good writer. It's just like maybe you just gotta refine it a bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
Yeah. Because I'm like right now I'm in my editing stage of the final editing stage of my novel. Yeah. Because like I'll write the whole book and then I'll go back and see like all the mistakes that I've made. Yeah. Like, oh, I didn't delve into this character as much, or I didn't describe the scenery, well enough. Yeah. Which is great to like realize it yourself.
That's good. Like realizing your mistakes, true. Yeah. But at the same time though, like being being also a creative person, like we're always going to be the harshest judges of our own work.
Right.
Like nobody's going to judge harder than ourselves.
Yeah, because like I'll make like paintings for my fiance because I paint every now and then.
Yeah.
And I'll like kind of like look back at it and I'll be like, oh, maybe I could have changed like this shadow or this color or whatever. But like,
I know
she's always just kind of like, this is amazing. Like you should just
dude,
stop. And I'm
legit,
just like, I can't help it.
Legit. It's just one of those things. Like I totally get it. Like I used to get into drawing too, and I was just never satisfied with anything I did, and it's also part of the reason why I stopped. But I feel like you do a pretty damn good job, honestly.
Thank you.
I'm a little jealous.
I try.
No, that's the important thing, though. Trying, and I feel like that really does come across when you make your little gifts for your fiance, which is very cute. Actually, I saw your coffin thing that you did. Very awesome. Yeah, thank you. A nice little decorative. I don't know if you want to put that like on a wall or in the front of a door.
It depends on what my fiance wants to do with it.
That's fair because it's a gift for her.
Because it's a gift for her. So, and I also this year and last year I've also been trying to go into clay sculptures, and literally all of the projects that I've made from clay was for her, just because like I don't know, it's a weird feeling if I make a clay sculpture and I keep it for like myself. It's for me it's just really weird. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, because if I make it for somebody else, I will put like all my effort into it because like I want them to be satisfied with the product.
No, you're not. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I always give it to her, and like that's why I always. Then it turns out really nice, like the one that I made for her for this month.
That's all well and good and all. Where the fuck's my clay sculpture?
Hey, you didn't ask for any yet.
Okay.
I will make you one if you want one.
This is my consider this my formal request.
It just depends on what it is.
I'll let you decide what it is. I'll let you. I feel like you know me well enough.
Yeah, so. I could conjure up some ideas.
Throwing it right back to the topic.
Because we're into our 10-minute overdue 10-minute summary of the movie.
Yeah, we're good.
Which is nice timing because right now the title sequence came in with Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, where has she been? Is my question.
Huh?
Like she's just coming back home.
Yeah.
So like where did she go? I guess.
Well,
that's my question.
Yeah, that was actually kind of like a little confusing for me too. But
really,
yeah. But so at the beginning of the movie. We're introduced to Ed and Lorraine Warren, which, from previous episode, you'll know that Ed and Lorraine is the big stars of the Conjuring Universe.
Yeah, they basically are that universe.
Yeah. And pretty much, Ed and Lorraine are taking Annabelle to be blessed by a priest, or no, wait, to bring them to their house to be blessed. Oh, we got. Cat interference again.
Is this another potential hairball here?
He's either going to get a hairball or he's going to throw up. Or he's got bad allergies.
I haven't seen either happen yet in front of me, so I'm excited.
Oh, no, nothing's happening.
It was a tease. You just wanted attention.
Come on. Anyway. So they're taking Annabelle to be blessed by the priest anyway. And they have Annabelle in the back seat. And apparently, Annabelle makes the car stall right in front of a cemetery.
Naturally.
Naturally for a horror movie. And
as any possessed dog would do,
And Ed's trying to fix the engine, and Lorraine all of a sudden sees a ghost in the back seat, and she's like, "Oh, you just died in a car accident," because they had to like make a detour because there was an accident. Ed closes the hood. He gets pushed by a dead spirit, and he almost gets hit by a truck. And they pretty much were like, "Oh, it's the doll. It's Annabelle who's trying to kill us." And then the title sequence comes in. So
Annabelle Comes Home from wherever she's been. She goes and travels, I guess.
You'll see kind of why it says comes home.
I feel like she's just been like going around like Europe and shit.
She's having a tour.
Yeah, just having a tour, like seeing the world and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really seen a lot of these Annabelle movies.
They could have titled it differently for this movie because I don't know, it just didn't really make sense for me.
Your own personal.
For my personal judgment, they probably could have titled it differently.
Okay.
But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a good film. Out of the Annabelle series, obviously my favorite one is Creation, and then it's Annabelle Comes Home, and then it's the first Annabelle.
Right.
So that's because obviously for me, the Conjuring Universe
Yeah.
as a total is like my absolute favorite
series
of horror.
Yeah, you've definitely seen
Like
it
I've seen them a lot
a
of times.
bunch. Almost as much as your Lord of the Rings, but that's a whole...
No. That's not even close. That's not even close.
No, I feel like... No, I think you just like The Conjuring because of... Yeah.
I wasn't able to watch The Conjuring until
What, college?
Late high school.
Oh, late high school.
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings I saw when I was like 12 or something like that.
Fair.
So,
No, that's fair. I'd probably be on that same boat with you. I feel like Lord of the Rings... For me, it's like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and then maybe like, I don't know.
It was more like you get introduced to like the fantasy, sci-fi, action-packed stuff, and then you started delving into like the subgenres.
True.
So.
True. Yeah. Basically, kind of the same for me.
Yeah. So now that we've got that out of the way, we shall introduce what we're drinking.
Oh yes, right. So tonight's drink
Da-da-da-da!
is a beer by the name of Blue Moon.
You guys might have heard of it.
Probably, right?
It's a pretty popular drink.
I like it. I like Blue Moons.
Blue moons are nice.
Yeah.
I like full moons, and I like blue moons.
Well, once in a blue moon, we will have another blue moon.
No, yeah, that's true. Maybe sometime,
Yeah.
further, when we're broke again, which is probably next episode.
Yeah. We're trying to save. Oh, we get paid.
When we get paid, which is this week. I think.
This week, I think. But yeah, Blue Moon. I just like the orangey.
Yeah, it's a nice tangy taste.
Yeah, it's not like a. It doesn't really feel like a beer. I feel.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Where it's just like I feel like it's like in between an IPA and a beer.
Yeah, right.
It's like that nice little in between because I can't really think of any other drink that tastes like Blue Moon.
I feel like the more we do this, the more we might get better at some terminologies for beer. I feel like we're probably going to learn more about beers.
Yeah, probably.
The more we do this, so yeah, that could be a thing we could research at some point.
Yeah, some like facts about it or stuff like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our whole thing is drinking
until we're done with the series, and
that's
until our bottles are dried up.
Basically, yeah. That's the whole thing, isn't it?
I mean, just to run by the concept again, pretty much.
We're just talking about things we like in the meantime.
Yeah, which is
maybe we really should do that, huh?
What?
Like have a little segment for the beer, like talk about like what's it about or something.
Okay, yeah, like a drink segment.
Yeah, we could try that out
For like a quick 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe like a quick 5 minutes. Like, oh yeah, this is the beer. This is like made by whatever info we research.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we can learn a little bit more about the drinks too.
Yeah, very nice.
But yeah, what's next here, bud?
Well, now that we're out of the intro and the quick catch-ups, we jump now into the UFOs.
Sorry, just quick ketchup just made it seem like a quick little of ketchup. Like,
you want some quick ketchup?
Oh God!
Oh God! What?
Oh yes, I'm like, like it's shut down your throat.
It's forcefully like quick ketchup, just like
like from that like little squeeze.
No,
bottles.
not really. It's either the squeeze bottles or like when you're trying to tear the ketchup packets and it just spills all over your fingers and the food, and you're like,
that's some
come on,
ketchup for you.
I don't want the ketchup anymore. It's all juicy and watery. Blech.
Oh, I hate that. I always hate that. I always gotta shake the bottle once it gets like down to like, that last bit.
And it's
I gotta
all
shake
watered,
the shit out of that fucking bottle to get rid of that watery mess there. But yeah, UFOs.
So, if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, we created this thing called UFOs, and that is Ultimate First Origin, which means what was our first encounter with said movie or movie series. If we know when we watched, like for instance, when we remember watching Annabelle for the first time, then it's a clear picture, but if it's kind of vague, it's a blurry picture.
Yeah.
Because that's how UFO pictures are.
Yeah,
Most of them are blurry.
Like some are clear, others are more like blurry. Like, maybe it's a UFO. Yeah. So, do you want to start or should I?
I'll let you start.
Well, mine's just gonna be very quick because it's definitely a fucking vague one. I didn't really have like a proper first experience with like any of the Annabelle films,
right?
And like maybe a little bit more with the Conjuring stuff. But that was after I met both you and Karina, because you guys are really into this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I never really like sat down and watched these before. So like that probably first time we were like, you know, I guess like no, red boxing it.
Redbox.
I think it was red boxing. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that was,
I remember
yeah,
when Redbox
yeah.
was a big thing.
Yeah, red boxing it with you guys. I think was my first encounter with like the universe at large, and then Annabelle by like proximity.
Okay.
As far as
so it
like
was kinda
Annabelle
like,
films that like actually properly sat down and finished,
So you were
it's like
late, kind of late, quote unquote,
very late. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, because like the first Annabelle was made 2015, so I mean,
Yeah,
like
probably not even then. Like maybe like 18?
18, 19 probably for you.
Yeah, probably for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because it was like
kinda.
around that time when I started hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah.
It was probably on because me and my fiance we like to watch horror movies like chronologically.
Mhm.
So we'll watch them like how all the movies connect.
Yeah.
Because in the Conjuring universe, each movie has a little either like a little scene or a character that connects to another.
Yeah,
movie.
like an Easter egg or like a tie-in, basically.
A tie-in, yeah.
I did notice that.
Which is really clever. I do like that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool. Which
It's
is
like, what the hell is that thing about?
Yeah,
And then it
yeah,
just
yeah.
continues, and it's like a whole unexplored like story thread here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that about these movies.
it's pretty cool, and as a tiny little side rant here, is that I took that idea, and I'm gonna implant that into my book series.
I think that's really cool, actually. Yeah.
Each book has like maybe like a little, appearance of a character or a scene that connects to another book or another side. Because I have a lot planned.
Yeah.
But I just thought that whole Conjuring universe, threads connecting to here and there.
Yeah. I definitely like that. That idea.
Very cool.
It seems really cool. It makes the world feel like there's a lot more going on at large that like maybe this group of characters or individuals aren't really gonna aren't really gonna be associated with, but it probably like played some sort of part or like at least a passing thing.
Right.
That like, oh yeah, there's this weird thing that happened over there, but we had this thing that we were focused on, or this thing we were trying to run away from, or this whatever the case may be. I actually think that's very good storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too. I would also use that for my D&D campaigns.
Yeah, that is also true. You could also do that, especially with characters.
Oh yeah.
In D&D, especially with characters.
Yeah. But so yeah, like what was is that your UFO?
No,
What's your UFO? Yeah.
I actually watched Annabelle before I moved over here. Because it's funny that you mentioned Redbox because that's how that's how I watched Annabelle for the first time.
See,
so I also was late.
That's our own personal universe.
Yeah,
like, sorry,
that's our
Redbox.
That's our own thread. It's our own personal thread.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't know it.
Yeah, before we knew it.
I remember watching Annabelle Creation first.
Which wasn't the first in this series,
No,
right?
no. The first Annabelle they made first in the Annabelle series.
Is
I should
Annabelle,
say, as just straight up Annabelle.
Yeah.
Just because I watched The Conjuring, obviously. When was that? 2015. So obviously I was a little late for The Conjuring.
Yeah, well, Conjuring was like what
2013.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. and so my parents they didn't like horror movies, so I wasn't allowed to watch any of that.
Yeah.
And so it was a couple years after that, and when was that? When did 2017? Yeah, okay. Creation came out in 2017. Yeah, that was when I was still in college. So I was just like, you know what?
You want to watch that movie?
Yeah, I want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And it was like after. It was obviously after the theater, so maybe it was 2018. So maybe my UFO is kind of blurry.
A little vague.
Because I remember taking it out of a red box in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of watched, and that was because it was 2018, yeah. Because I watched it.
It tracks, I feel.
Huh?
Yeah, I feel like that tracks.
Yeah. And so I'm just like, well, it's a good movie. I really like it. And then from then on, I kind of like went. I watched the first Annabelle online,
Yes,
Yes,
online movies.
online movies. Yeah, that's a thing.
Good times.
So yeah, I pretty much went to creation and then Annabelle, and then I moved over here, and then obviously I watched Annabelle Comes Home in theaters with
Right.
my then girlfriend, now fiance. So I guess the UFO for me is it's clearing up.
Yeah. I feel like you got to mostly clear.
Yeah, it's
UFO, as if it's like a snapshot.
Yeah, the big bulbous head and everything. It's like, oh yeah, that's an alien right there.
That's definitely not Benedict Cumberbatch.
No,
that's just Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, UFO would be more of like this actual spaceship, like the.
I'm saying because he does kind of look like an alien.
Well, so does Mark Zuckerberg. So.
Oh well, no, he's a lizard person.
He's a lizard. Lizard Illuminati.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, we are going to go into another summary.
Oh yeah, what happened, right? That was my job to keep track of.
It's fine. It's been about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much introduced to the main characters, and their names slip my mind right now.
Their mind slips my name.
Yeah, their mind slips my name.
Yep.
I know that the girl that causes everything is called. Her name is Danielle. And then she has her friend, the blonde friend.
I did see her. Yeah.
Can't remember her name. I don't know why. Damn. And then it's
almost as if we're talking over a movie.
And then there's Ed and Lorraine's daughter.
So that's who she was. I was going to ask, who is this Wednesday Addams looking?
Yeah, her name is Judy in these films. And they pretty much... Judy is having her birthday pretty soon in the movie. And she's she has a babysitter, which is the blonde girl. And this is bothering me that I don't remember.
It's going to come sometime randomly.
Yeah.
As they always do. Yeah.
And so her and Danielle are pretty much over at the Warrens' house to look after her, obviously.
Right.
And Danielle is...
snooping.
She's snooping because she wants to get... she wants to explore the paranormal because she knows that the Warrens are paranormal investigators.
Oh man, I feel like the Warrens kind of dropped the ball here and just letting their these random ass people just into their home where all these supposedly possessed spiritual paranormal things are just just let them in. Yeah, they'll definitely not come in and do any rebellious teenager shit. Yeah. But great thinking.
Yeah, because right now, Danielle, she got into the room that all the artifacts, the possessed artifacts, are in because she's curious.
Whole room.
Literally, it's a whole room. Yeah,
They didn't even lock the door.
Well, they did.
Oh, they did.
They did. You missed the part where.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, she found the keys. Because on the door...
Damn, she really wanted to get into this room, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you tell a teenager not to do something. Yeah.
They're going to do the opposite.
That'll be it.
Because she goes up to the door. There's 3 or 4 deadbolts in a way. So it's obviously protected.
Yeah.
And so she goes snooping around, and she finds the keys on the Warrens' personal desk. So she even goes into their study room.
Oh, she really wanted to get into these rooms.
Really wanted to get into it.
Wow.
Finds the keys, goes into
I admire the dedication, but god damn.
It's a stupid thing to do.
It really is dumb.
Yeah. And so she goes into the room, she looks at Annabelle for a little bit.
Yeah.
She starts touching all of the artifacts. She's just oh, nothing's happening,
It's wow, this looks weird. Oh, that looks weird there too. Man,
oh man, when I remember when I watched this movie in theaters, I did not like this. Character. I did not like her character because I was why are you stupid?
Get out.
Because
leave the room.
She wants to communicate with her dad because he passed away.
Oh, okay.
That is her reasoning for exploring the paranormal room because she's just I just want to talk to my dad.
Okay.
Which is, okay, I get that, but just don't be stupid about it.
You gotta,
No.
But
then, of course, she is stupid because she's a teenager. So.
I mean, I was a dumb teen, but I wasn't trying to fuck with no ghosts.
I know. It's just like
at the same time, though, what's this like time? Like, what is this? The 80s?
yeah, probably.
Give
Yeah,
or take?
probably.
Yeah.
I don't think they really because this series isn't really based on true stories.
Oh,
Like,
right. But
obviously,
I
like
feel like the vibe feels like the 80s.
the vibe, yeah, definitely, because they were
Or
involved.
something. I could be wrong. That might
Well,
just be me being wrong.
No, I just feel like the Warrens were very active in the late 70s and 80s is when they got their
Oh, okay.
rise to popularity.
Mm.
So, and plus in this movie they have like a lot of artifacts. So I feel like it's
They've done a lot. Okay.
They've done a lot already, so I feel like it's 80s vibe.
Okay.
So, cuz yeah, I feel like it's 80s.
Just a lot of Baywatch and Knight Rider right now.
Yeah. And like right now in the movie, Annabelle, usually she sits up in her chair like straight up. And when Danielle, she goes to the case, she walks around the room, and all of a sudden Annabelle is like trying to get out because she puts her head on the glass door. So
Naturally,
you know,
as any possessed doll would.
And like a stupid teen, she
tries to unlock this fucking door
and
after
like,
the sign says, "Don't open this fucking
positively
door."
do not open. And not only that, it's like you see right in front of the lock, there's like a demon card that's like printed on the glass. Yeah. It's like, how stupid could you be just to like, well, there's nothing wrong with this.
I want to know is how dumb the Warrens are for just leaving these keys up in their fucking desks. So
yeah.
Up.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of plot holes.
Yep.
In movies,
but it's a movie,
especially in horror movies. But
it's a horror movie.
You know,
we need these plot holes so
that we can talk about them.
Otherwise, there is no movie either. So like, yeah.
Yeah, and like.
Freaky looking doll.
Obviously, yeah. Well, I was about to mention the appearance of Annabelle. Obviously, Annabelle's been around, popular for a while, ever since 2013. So I'm guessing most people out there know that the real Annabelle looks absolutely nothing like what Hollywood.
You were the one who told me
like.
that, yeah.
Yeah, because the original Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll. And she looks absolutely nothing like Hollywood.
And now she's just opening the fucking door because
she didn't lock it.
Yeah.
The original Annabelle is just like some Raggedy Ann, and she looks just like any other doll. Yeah, pretty much. And I guess that's kind of like it's disguised, you know, like an ordinary doll, whatever.
Disguise.
Yeah, a disguise.
This girl's over here burning fucking cake.
Well, yeah, because like. Judy was out with the blonde girl.
Yes.
Still can't. Her name will come up eventually.
Eventually, it will.
She got a gift of roller skates, so they're out on the sidewalk doing that, and Danielle's like, "Oh, I'll stay inside and watch the cake," and that didn't happen. So
because you weren't inside looking at cake.
Yeah, she was looking at Annabelle instead of the cake, and then the cake burned, and now we're here. So
yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
Goddamn adolescence.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do?
So now we're at the point of the episode where we go to Fast Facts.
Oh, what are some fast facts?
Fast Facts. Well,
Jaxie.
This time they're not really fast. But this is more of behind the scenes because with any horror movie, there's always some spooky stuff that goes around the set.
Oh yeah.
Like
sometimes
that's a common theme.
It doesn't even need to be a horror movie. Sometimes some freaky shit happens, like Spider-Man the musical, just always having their Spider-Man have some sort of horrible accident.
Well, that's Spider-Man, so he's swinging.
That's true. I don't know. Like it's just a weird thing. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Tell me about Annabelle.
Well, okay. So there was some stuff about the Annabelle series. There wasn't a whole lot behind the scenes. Originally, I actually wanted to watch Annabelle Creation, but I tried to look up like behind the scenes
stuff
of Creation, and there wasn't a whole lot of like creepy stuff that happened in that movie. Like,
that they said publicly
on the set. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll look into the other ones, and this one, the Annabelle Comes Home, had more stuff, I guess, that happened. I mean, it wasn't a lot, obviously. I feel like more of it was toward like The Conjuring itself, because
It does feel like it feels like
because
the
The
Conjuring is
Conjuring-
kind of like the center of this.
yeah, because The Conjuring, based off a true story,
Yeah.
obviously, true haunting.
Yeah.
So I get that, and Annabelle's more of like the offshoots of Conjuring.
More just like a popular, I feel like Annabelle's pretty popular.
Annabelle is still pretty popular.
I feel like it's.
I mean,
like,
I
just
have
like,
I have a whole like plaque and like figure dedicated to her.
I
So
did see.
yeah,
And
like
it definitely feels like the fandom.
as a figure, Annabelle is very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here is, I guess, fact / behind the scenes number 1, and that goes back to the first Annabelle movie. And that it was actually based on a deleted scene. Like they didn't put it in the movie, right?
Okay.
So in the first Annabelle, there's a demon that is attached to Annabelle, pretty much. Like if you remember, it's like some like all black demon with horns and stuff, and he appears, I think, first on like the stairway or something. Like the main character, she's trying to like run away from like a growling or something like that. And so she's going up like some like flight of stairs, and then she turns around and this demon shows up from the ceiling or something like that. So this demon was played by Joseph Bishara, who is, I believe, he's the one who makes the music behind the Conjuring and the Annabelle series, which is it's very
awesome.
Cool. And I think he does the music for Insidious as well. He does all the creepy music, which is very
Insidious
cool.
had some really creepy soundtracks, honestly.
The soundtracks were very creepy.
Yeah.
He did a really good job. And apparently he was the demon in Annabelle, the first Annabelle. So this scene, this deleted scene, the demon was supposed to kill like a side character.
Okay.
Like a really brief side character. And so they're walking onto the set, right? And on the set, there's like they go up, an elevator, and they walk through like this big open like lobby.
Okay.
And well, I wouldn't say big, but like, you know how in hotels there's like hallways and there's like the elevator space.
Yeah.
In front of it.
Yeah.
So apparently there was like a small chandelier on top.
Oh.
And since Joseph Bishara's character was supposed to kill the character, the actor. Yes. There you go. The actor whose character was supposed to be killed. He was going behind Bishara, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Bishara passed the chandelier dropped, like it unhinged.
Oh wow!
And it dropped on the actor.
Damn.
Yeah, it like just crashed onto him.
It was a random accident, huh?
Yeah, and then like he was fine. He was
right.
he had like scrapes and bruises, but like nothing like serious, obviously. But like
still a whole fucking chandelier.
Exactly,
Jesus.
it just like falls from the ceiling, and that was like after Bishara like passed through it in his full demon makeup, costume, everything. Yeah. Like he just like passed, and then the chandelier fell, and they're just like, we're not gonna put the scene in just because of that. Like
that was weird.
That incident that happened,
and also we don't need people to be shown getting hurt.
That's
not what you do in movies.
Obviously, that wasn't supposed to happen in the script. But like, it was just like, that's a little spooky. We're not gonna do that. So
we're not supposed to show people getting hurt in movies, unless it's Aragorn kicking that.
That's for another day.
Yeah.
So that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, fact was more of just like an overall theme of Conjuring and Annabelle. Is that a priest had to come by the sets like either every day that they were shooting or whenever they were shooting on a set, or like every week, or like it really depended on what scene the actors were doing. Okay. It's like if it was like a possession scene or like just some creepy haunting scene.
Wow, so like the studio
the priest had to come in every single time.
They contracted a priest? Wow.
They had to because all this creepy stuff happens in the background.
True.
So they literally had a priest come by and like bless the set like every week at least.
You know what? With all the weird shit that be happening in the world in general, I would be like, you know what? Yeah, let's just take that extra step. I mean, what's it going to cost us? Yeah.
Well, because there's been a lot of incidents with horror movies and like weird incidences that go all the way back to like Rosemary's Baby, because that was like late 70s, 80s, I think, or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, and so that was like one of the movies that was like cursed in a way.
There've been a number, and it also
There's
like,
been a number.
I feel like
yeah.
it also like adds to the superstition too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lot of like superstition in like not just like the world in general, but like theater also. Like there's just certain
Yeah.
things you don't do.
Well, if you like
Yeah.
portray yourself as like an actual demon,
Right.
you know, you're probably gonna attract some like negative
Vibes.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Bad vibes follow you.
bad vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's a thing, I feel. Yeah. Sometimes you just like sometimes you just don't want to walk your dogs out into this really misty night because maybe there's just some bad vibes and you're like, you know what? We're gonna go back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
talking
feel
from
that.
personal experience or anything.
No.
But, you know, just sometimes bad vibes. You feel them. You're like, you know what? Just stay home.
Yeah.
Just stay home.
So for fact number 2 comes from actually one of the I should say actresses. That's the right term for that.
Yeah.
Is Madison Iceman, which I believe is Danielle.
Okay.
And she commented that here's her quote, or like
Right. Quote.
Yeah, she says I went after a scene.
Yeah.
I went back to the dressing room and the lights just wouldn't turn on. I flipped the switch on and off, over and over again.
Right.
Finally, when she was going to leave, the lights turned on and they stayed on. So something like super subtle, like she would just turn off, on and off, and like nothing happened. She was like, okay, whatever. So then she left, and then the lights just flipped on by itself, and then it just stayed on. So it was just like, okay, that's a little,
Yeah.
subtle thing that's kind of creepy.
That is a little weird.
And like all the rooms like beside her, like they were just like, I don't know, lights, no lighting problems or electric problems. So it was just like, okay,
So whatever the hell happened only happened.
whatever
in her
happened
room.
there.
Yeah. That is a little freaky.
It would be kind of weird because like you're trying to go into your own dressing room.
Yeah.
And no lights at all, and you have all those big mirrors in front of you.
Yeah.
It's pretty creepy in the dark, especially in the dark.
None of that. Please.
That's not a good time.
Gonna bring a flashlight now.
So that was a quick fact. Another, I guess these are all kind of quick.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is McKenna Grace, which I believe is Judy, the actress for Judy.
Okay.
She actually bought a new camera.
Okay.
Because she was excited, for pretty much starring in this movie, and she's still a young actress.
Oh yeah.
So she bought a new camera to pretty much take pictures with all the cast and the crew and all that stuff.
Yes.
It was a nice little, what would I say, unifying theme, I guess, that she had going on.
Yeah, it's just a nice, sweet little thing to do,
Yeah.
First big movie,
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah. Anyway, but she pretty much, like, all the pictures that she took with everybody was normal.
Yeah.
But every time she took a picture with Annabelle, the picture would come up black or like blank or like fuzzy or bad.
Well, we're just gonna not do that anymore.
Yeah. And she was just like, okay, that's weird and not good.
Yeah.
And then another time when she took a photo with Patrick Wilson, who is the guy who plays Ed Warren.
Ed Warren, all right.
Yeah, so she took a picture with him in a black mark covered over the cross that he was wearing.
All right, so we're just going to not do any of that now.
Yeah.
So no more cameras.
Yeah, and that was pretty freaky because, the character Ed Warren, he always wears this, big cross necklace.
Right.
Kind of like a crucifix in a way, to ward off, evil.
Yeah.
Oh, Toby's opening the door.
Toberto!
Throw a pillow. There you go.
Need
Kitty interference number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, and this one.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, I meant just in general.
Yeah, my cats are very curious that they start opening doors now to a closet that they've been into many times.
They're like, what's in this room?
Oh, this again. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait, but there's this room right here. What's in it?
So that was that. And then the last fact that I have is that two of the actors, which was McKenna Grace and Michael Cimino, I don't know. Camino?
That's dope.
No, it's spelled like the Cimino. Camino or Cimino, I don't know. It's
Well,
that C that throws me off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would be very thrown off.
Yeah, exactly. He
But
plays the character
Mr. C here.
Mr. C. He plays the character as Bob in the movie.
Gotta have a Bob.
Yep. They both had bad nosebleeds on the set. And the actor Michael, he like never had nosebleeds before this movie.
Ooh.
And apparently that there was a day that the priest couldn't come in to bless the set, right? So they're just like, okay, well, we're just gonna power through it. Like, we're gonna shoot the scene, and like, what was it? When he was on the scene, he did the scene, but then he would just immediately just get like a nosebleed from it, and then he would walk off the scene, and everything would be fine.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really creepy.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a brief incident, but it was just really creepy. And then another incident was with McKenna Grace, and they were shooting another scene, and I think either in the middle of it or at the end of it, and all the lights just went out. Like, all the lights were completely out.
Okay. Here we go again.
Yeah, and then like the I don't know if this is like curiosity or stupidity, because the actors are just like, hey, is Annabelle there? And they're saying this in the dark.
Well, you know,
when they're making a horror movie.
Here's the thing. They've probably gotten to the point where, like, man, there's enough like creepy stories going around. Where, like, you know what?
Let's test it out.
Let's just be direct here.
Yeah.
Let's just call this what it is. Yeah. Potentially. You fucking with me?
Because
you fucking with me?
Just
like yeah, like.
But
I feel like I'd be like, you know what? I feel like we needed that priest to just be here.
You're testing the water.
Yeah, I feel like you're just. I feel like we're at some edge here.
But when the lights turned back on, she had a really bad nosebleed, and it was all over her, like, hands and arms and stuff.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah, and like it was like she didn't even feel it. That's the thing.
They just happen.
Like, the lights turn on, bam, nosebleed.
I hate that.
Yeah, so that was pretty creepy too.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's not good. So.
Yeah, I make it a habit to not fuck with like paranormal shit, because like
no,
nah, I don't need to fuck with that Ouija board.
No, that's the worst of them.
Nah, they're the dead are at peace, and at peace is where they'll be. So
yep,
I don't need to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So yeah, it's again it's due. Past due for the summary, but I kind of went on with the facts.
Well, there were a lot of
a lot of long facts.
Yeah, a lot of that, and like it's just weird shit that happens on set, and also the fact that like the subject matter at hand is just weird shit happens to like basic normal. Yeah. Paranormal topics are gonna
pretty much.
Bad vibes beget bad vibes, man. That's what it is. There's an energy out there.
Yeah.
You feed it, you just get it back.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah. Updates.
They were, again, all three of the characters were snooping around the Warrens' office.
As you do.
Yeah, and they found this old film of Ed Warren exorcising, another person who was supposedly possessed, and Danielle was like entranced with it, which is kind of like a foreshadowing of what happens later in the movie. But they pretty much find that, and they're just like, okay, well, that was pretty creepy. And then they pretty much go find some board games to pass the time and try to forget what they saw.
Yeah.
And now the guy Bob, he's pretty much in love.
Yeah.
With the girl, and he's like...
I'm sorry, this pizza guy, like, was cringy as hell.
Yeah, and...
so, props to that actor, because he delivered more than just pizza here. He delivered some straight-up cringe, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you did good here, bud.
Yep.
Yeah, here's this beer's for you.
Yep, yeah. No, pretty much, it was like a little... Me and my fiance, we always have a joke, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally because of that guy. So Okay, so just to explain,
Right.
is that they ordered some pizza.
Yeah.
You know, just ordinary order, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Classic
this delivery guy comes in, and he comes at the same time that Bob visits, and Bob's trying to, like, you know, flirt with her and stuff.
Yeah, he's trying to do his thing.
Oh, sorry. This point in the movie,
Yeah.
they show the actual Annabelle doll.
Really?
The Raggedy Ann. Oh, it's coming up pretty soon.
Real deal
Yeah,
Annabelle?
real deal of what she actually looks like.
Interesting.
And which is, it's a pretty cool thing that
That's
they,
a nice
that they
little
do for that.
Nice little detail. Detail
Little
that they
detail,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there she is. She looks like some.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway,
That
so
wouldn't
they-
have worked at all for the film.
No.
They needed that creepy ass
yeah.
like porcelain doll looking. Yeah.
So anyway, so like the pizza guy comes in, and same time that Bob comes in, and he's just like, oh, here's the delivery pizza, you know, like totally like stoner dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and he asks Bob, he's just like, oh wait, are you two like dating? And he's like, oh no, I'm trying. He's just like, no, you gotta like woo her. And he's just like,
yeah.
woo her? And then like she comes to the door, and pizza guy's just like, here's your pizza, minus one slice. And then he just exits. Yeah.
And you're like,
and so whenever we go out to like pick something up, like because we do DoorDash.
Right. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
we do
no.
DoorDash. So
Oh,
whenever somebody orders pizza, like we'll just like turn to each other and we'll be like here's the pizza. Minus one slice.
I enjoyed that in the car.
I enjoyed that in the car. Like it's just funny.
Christ.
Like if there's like a food that comes in like sections or pieces or whatever, we're just like, you know, like here's the cake, minus one slice.
Right.
Or just something stupid.
I feel like I need
that.
to do that at some point. Like someone like bringing like a fucking cake.
Yeah,
like a birthday party.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, here's the cake.
Minus one slice. Enjoyed that in the car.
Enjoyed that in the car.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing my way out of this party now.
It's just like one little snippet that was just like, that was so
Terrible.
stupid and terrible that we love it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, a little inside joke there, but
oh my God. Yeah, it's just one of those terrible jokes that we all tell each other.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for this movie in particular, all the spooky, creepy scenes, they don't really show up until...
They kind of seeded it a little bit early on.
Yeah, they make like the connection, like the original connections,
Right.
like, oh, like this will appear later on in the movie.
And this feels very much like a teen movie as opposed to like the
first
Conjuring,
yeah.
where it's like the Warrens and like all these adults are like trying to like
I feel like this last Annabelle kind of tried to appeal to the actual audience that are watching it, which is
Bob.
the young adults.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, we're in the point in the movie where young Bob is trying to sing a song.
He has a little.
His little lullaby.
He has his little.
kind of.
He has his little acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Middle of the night.
And apparently it's working.
I mean, hey, if somebody comes outside your window and starts playing you some half decent songs, what's he singing? Bob's got balls. Yeah, I would say, you know what, that does take some guts.
Yeah,
at the very least. Yeah, I can respect that, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, Bob was like my favorite character.
Oh yeah,
in the movie. Just, I think he really, I don't know, his character just in general was just like...
He's just a regular guy.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy, and now he's faced with a werewolf that comes out of the mist.
The fuck?
Which ties in to a very controversial Warren case.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was in England.
Okay.
I don't, quote me on it, but I think it was an England case.
Right.
Where some guy thought he became a werewolf.
Okay.
Because he supposedly got possessed.
Okay.
And he started growling at people and snarling at people and trying to scratch them. And there was an incident where he was with his friends and he started to like bite them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and so he
This
kind
guy
of
was
like
on
got
bath salts.
yeah. I don't know what happened, but like he did all these things that like a wolf would do, you know, quote unquote, what a wolf would do.
Okay.
And so he pretty much was like, "Oh yeah, I'm possessed by a werewolf," and that's why this thing came up in the movie.
I'm possessed by a werewolf. Not I
Yeah.
am a werewolf.
Nah, it's just,
I am
or
possessed
something like that.
by a werewolf.
So it was just like, for me personally, I was just like, no, it's just some dude like that's not mentally stable.
Yeah. Probably has a few bath salts.
Yeah, which is actually one of the things I didn't really like in this movie was this
The
big
reference to
wolf
that?
creature. I was like,
Yeah,
no,
that's like out of.
that's out of the boundaries for this thing. Like,
Yeah, not at all.
I-
Like I always thought like the Conjuring and like things like Annabelle and stuff were more like
actual
demons and spirits.
Well, actual like possession.
like
stuff.
possession and shit. Not this fucking werewolf.
I know that's
That kind of came out of like a whole other realm of superstition, and yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
exactly. That's kind of how I felt too when I first watched this. Was like they literally went from.
I mean, it's interesting that they put that in the movie just to like reference that case. So I mean, I get that.
I got the connection, but like
Why?
the whole story of
It doesn't
that
really
whole,
feel like it. It doesn't really feel like the vibe.
no.
It doesn't really keep up with that vibe. This
Yeah.
isn't Van Helsing.
No, no, it's not a fictional like I don't know. It's not a fictional setting.
Yeah.
It is, but it
If
isn't.
you're gonna show me a werewolf, I'm gonna need to see some silver bullets. I'm gonna need some sort of werewolf hunt. I'm gonna need
Fair
some blood and gore. I'm gonna need to see like a whole like yeah.
But pretty much, once the werewolf appears, that's when all the spooky stuff starts to appear, or it starts to happen.
So
in
he
the
just
movie.
like he just rings the dinner or whatever spooky bell and
the spooky siren.
yeah, and then like yep, here we go. Now we get the full blown.
But I mean,
full
already
blown poltergeist, like the full blown fucking possessions and like weird shit going on around the corner of your eye.
like the door to the Warrens occult collection just opened by itself.
Yo, what happened to the Warrens? Actually, I think I missed that. Where did they go? Because they're not back yet, and it's the middle of the night.
I feel like they were on a case at the time. They were at another
They're
case.
working.
Yeah, they're working pretty much, and they had to go travel somewhere, and they're just like, we can't take you along because of our work, because you know they're demonologists.
But they're gonna take their work back with them.
Yeah,
and leave a kid.
Well, because like their room is blessed by a priest twice a week. So
I feel like that blessing isn't quite strong enough for some reason.
Here's the thing: it is strong enough, but only this movie wasn't strong enough because of some prying little teen girl.
She basically opened Pandora's box.
She opened the evil.
Yeah,
pretty much.
She released the Kraken. Yeah.
So as like paranormal wise, yeah, like because if you say spiritually wise, yeah, it helps. But it doesn't help against actual physical people.
Right.
So
spiritually, yeah, it worked. But if they're gonna like completely not follow whatever, I feel like the Warrens kind of really dropped the ball here by not telling them like, okay, look, if any of this stuff starts happening, get the fuck out of here.
You know what could have made this movie all like not happen?
What?
It was if they took the keys with them.
Honestly.
That's it. That's all they needed.
I honestly doubt that any of these girls know how to pick a lock.
No, I would seriously doubt it.
They have to be like dead set serious on like opening this fucking door.
Yeah.
To pick through what 4 locks?
Yeah, something like that. No. But yeah, we're at the point in the
Warrens
movie.
really should have taken the case.
yeah. But we're in the point in the movie where Danielle is back in the possessed room, and she's starting to touch and just do everything wrong. Again. For the second time. She's back in the room again. And it's just like, oh my. Frustrating. I'm just like, stupid. It's very stupid.
Stupid.
So, pretty much that goes into play later in the movie, because later on, all 3 of the characters are trapped in the room. They get trapped inside the room. And everything starts to come to life, pretty much, like all the.
It's full blown poltergeist. Then.
Yeah, because right now Annabelle is missing from her chair.
Yeah,
and she's the strongest spirit. Of all of them.
Oh yeah.
So she pretty much like awakens all of the other bad spirits, and
It's like, oh, hey, you've been locked up? Here,
Yeah.
let me open the
Yep.
doors for you real quick.
Pretty much.
She's
Yep.
like the big crime boss that just like got the keys to the whole prison.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you want to work for me? Come on.
Yeah,
I'll
come
let
here.
you out. Come on, work
Yeah,
for me.
Let's go. Come on. Get off your feet. Come on.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Come on.
Look at me.
Let's haunt these people over here. Come on.
I'm the captain now. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and she gets trapped inside the room first, and that's when all the paranormal stuff comes into play. She gets trapped in the room for quite a while, actually.
Oh, yeah?
And the door is so like, I wouldn't say like soundproof, but it's a very heavy door. So when she pounds on the door, like there's barely like any sound. But then the other two characters are busy with their own ghosts that they gotta fight against.
That's fair. Yeah.
Which is Annabelle's ghost, apparently.
Oh jeez.
Which is pretty, also is pretty scary. So you know.
Yeah, everybody's busy, not trying to be like fucked over by.
It's a war on two fronts.
Yeah, legit. Legit.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of where at the point in the movie. Did you have any questions?
I honestly did not think of any questions
No?
for this one. I'm very not as
Well versed with the Annabelle
well versed
series?
with this universe.
Mhm.
I'm basically coming in on this as a first like a full dive like first time here, because even like what little I did see of like the Annabelle movies, like I think I didn't really like stick around to finish them. I feel like I might have had to go or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like after like a night of drinking that I just spent the night.
So you're kind of just like
I was
kind
just
of like
kinda
a
like,
fuzzy memory.
Ooh, yeah, time to go home.
There was like a creepy doll, and that's kind of.
I think they were watching this movie, and then I was just like, you know what, I should probably go home because they don't know what the fuck happened to me. And yeah, I don't think I ever really finished one of these movies. But as far as like questions, I mean, I feel like you already answered any question I would have had. Like favorite Annabelle, first Annabelle. What would you do in this whole
in this incident? It depends. What do you like?
Like okay, maybe you're
role?
you're like the babysitter, right?
Okay,
let's
so
say.
like I'm in charge. Like
Right.
I'm the one in charge
Right.
of.
Right.
Everything.
And then you have some guy like me who doesn't know anything about anything, goes down and starts fucking shit up down the fucking basement, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. Would you rather be in a situation like that or like?
Because it's kind of difficult to say,
Right.
Because it depends. Because like if I was the babysitter,
Right.
and I had to go over to somebody else's house,
Right.
that their house has some really creepy, haunted stuff.
Yeah.
For me, like personally, I feel like I would always, so that none of this happens.
Yeah.
I would probably like make sure that like nobody gets near that door, and
Right.
I wouldn't have anybody over
Right.
at all. I honestly, I wouldn't care if if you're my best friend,
Right.
or if it's even with like Karina, I'd be like, no, you're like we're staying together.
Right.
Like, and that's it. Like, you can, like, that's it. Like, it's just us. Or if it's just me, it's like, okay, that's it. And, like, let's say, like, the kid that I'm supposed to, like, babysit.
Right.
I'd probably be like, okay, just don't go near that door. Go to your room. Go to the watch TV, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
I'll just, like, wander around that area of that room
Yeah.
so that nothing happens.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, possession is not a good thing, so...
It's gonna be a bad time.
It's going to be a bad time. And if it eventually did come out, I honestly would not know what to do. Because, I mean, first of all, because the first thing that I would want to get is a holy symbol.
Okay.
So you'd want to get, crucifix or a holy water, but you also don't know where any of that's located.
Get the crucifix, get the holy water,
Well,
get
I
the
don't know.
Star of David,
Well,
get the fucking Buddha symbol,
Yeah.
get the fucking all that shit.
Anything that wards off evil.
Anything that wards off evil.
Well, at least you can fight against it or whatever.
Sure.
You'd get that. I'd get the kid, and I'd be like, "We're leaving."
Yeah. I feel like, you know what? We're just gonna let this house.
Like, leave the lights on. I don't care. Yeah. We're out of
this
house.
I think an electric bill is the least of our concerns right
exactly.
now.
I'd rather have them have like a high electric bill than a possessed child.
Possessed child, probably lose their job. I'd be like, you know what, I'd be
Yeah.
okay. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
That's
I'd be like,
what would you do?
I wouldn't take the job in the first place. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'd be like, you know what, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that. So I don't think there's an amount of money you could have offered me. Because nah, I try to make sure I don't fuck with anything in a
Paranormal.
paranormal. Like I definitely like admire and like seeing movies, and I like it in like my media, and I draw inspiration from it in like my
Yeah.
storytelling things. Personally, would not want to get anywhere near that.
Well, I mean, like, so like, well, especially for both of us, we've already known like what bad spirits can do, I guess.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it really does depend. Like,
True.
if somebody's like, "Hey, can you babysit this kid?" Also, we have a possessed doll in our house. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"No."
First of all, be like, okay. First of all, how much is this gig?
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm either taking care of this kid not in your place. So you either need to be comfortable with this kid being like my place,
Yeah.
which I highly doubt in this day and age.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not gonna take the job.
Plus, like, if you're babysitting at a house that like there's a lot of artifacts that are possessed, you have the chance of being possessed yourself.
Exactly.
Just from the vibe.
Like, why would you let anybody babysit at your home? Let them be literally let them be taken over to the other person's home.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else. Not where all your fucking demon ghost artifacts are.
Yeah.
Like that's literally like where all the bad shit is.
Yeah.
The last place you want to leave your kid is where all your work is. So
yeah. It's one of those another plot hole that obviously people can pinpoint and be like, this could all be avoided by doing this and that and.
But at the same time, we wouldn't have a movie, so I mean, this is just me being like, what?
I know.
Yeah. Like, really? This is your job, and okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
On
it's true
that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because I mean, okay. Here's my question for you. Actually.
Oh, you have a question for me?
So the Warrens have their own occult museum, and it's still. Well, to my knowledge, it's still up and running. Like,
where's that at?
That is in Connecticut, I believe.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's either at their house,
right,
or it's like nearby. Like it's like,
it's in the area.
Yeah, it's in the. I believe it's in their house. It's either in their house or it's in the area.
Yeah.
But it's an occult museum of like, kind of like their past experiences.
Their life's work, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously not as bad as like what the movies say it is. Like every single item is possessed. Like it's not that bad. But Annabelle is there, like the original Annabelle in the original case. Would you go and visit?
I mean, sure. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I mean, yeah. Sure. I just wouldn't get
close.
That close.
You'd probably like.
I'd be like, oh, like what's like this is the limit here. Like this is the bar. This is the line. So I'm gonna just take like 3 steps back.
You wouldn't like try to stare her dead in the eyes.
Fuck no.
And be like, move.
No.
Move.
No.
You wouldn't do that, like the stupid characters in horror movies.
Well, no, because I'm not a stupid character in a horror movie.
You wouldn't unlock the door and be like, "What are you doing in here?"
Look, I will do any number of dumb things.
Just not that.
Especially in a D&D game. I will do any number of dumb things. I just won't fuck with ghosts. With my own personal life.
No.
Hell no.
Because when it comes down to it, like the superstition, even if you're like a non-believer, I feel like the superstition when you're there.
Yeah.
Really
I feel like once you get there and like the vibe just you just feel it. I don't know. I feel like that's something you need to respect.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, okay. That's there and I'm here.
I'd rather stay here
I've seen it. I can be a person who says that they've seen it, and just gonna go about my merry way,
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, going to Connecticut, sure, yeah, why not?
Just to visit.
Just to visit, why not?
Plus, when you're over by Connecticut, that's also by Rhode Island, which is where the Conjuring house is.
Well, if you're gonna go to Connecticut, you may as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, might as well visit the Conjuring house and then Annabelle.
Sounds like a weekend vacation, basically.
A weekend of spooky events.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which apparently the Conjuring house is being sold for like $1 million. So good luck for whoever buys that house, because there apparently is still spirits roaming around that house.
At that point, I'd be like, what, let's just,
forget it.
Let's just break this shit down, clean slate it.
I mean, if it was me, I'd probably just like, first of all, get a new house. If I was like the owner of the house, I'd be like, get a new house, and then just make revenue off of the other house, because you can just make it an attraction.
Oh, you can just make it like a museum, basically?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because a little...
You don't want to live there.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a side tangent here.
Yeah.
Another one. So I'm from Iowa.
Yeah.
There is a house in Iowa.
Uh-huh.
In Villisca, I believe is what the town name is. It's a very, very small town.
Okay.
That is the place where there was an axe murder in that house. Wow. And they never caught the killer.
Oh,
because it was in the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
So there was, the investigation. People were, they didn't have the right stuff,
Right stuff,
So apparently, like in the middle of the night, some guy murdered an entire family plus two, what was the case? It was both of the parents.
Right.
I think, if I believe it was a daughter, a son, and then the daughter's two friends. Or something
because
like
she was
that.
probably having like a sleepover.
Yeah, like her two friends wanted to have a sleepover at her house. And it was, of course, it was that night that whoever came in and murdered everybody with an axe. And so that was like that became the Villisca Axe Murder House. You can pay to spend overnight in that house.
Really? That's a thing there?
And see if you can contact the spirits. And you can also do the same thing with the Conjuring house. You can see if the spirits...
you could probably...
Yeah, you can see if the spirits in the Conjuring house are still
You gotta have like some waivers for people to sign, like...
for sure. For sure.
I'm not gonna be helping.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to have this experience, you can have it.
Yeah.
You can pay for it. You just gotta sign this line. I'm not responsible for whatever you see.
Yeah.
Whatever happens there.
Like, if you become mentally unstable because of this visit, it would not be the...
No, it's not my fault. Like, you willingly knew.
Like, you have
knew what this place was about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You paid the money. You signed the line.
Oh, I'm sure.
You are responsible for what happens after that.
I'm sure that there's a ton of stuff that they have
and
to
I'm sure
sign and go over.
I'm also sure there's a shit ton of people that would still go and do it.
There is?
Yeah.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
I would not. I mean, even if it was me and... Okay, like, me and my fiance, we love horror stuff, right?
Right.
I would go into, like, say, like, the Conjuring house, for instance.
Right.
I would go in there if there was, like, a group of people.
Oh, yeah, so not just you two.
No.
Yeah.
Because that would be terrifying, and I would... I don't know if I would last the night or not, but...
It's that instinct of, like, group, better in the group, safer in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a little side tangent.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah, sure, I would probably go, but, like, yeah, again, not alone. It's not
alone.
Something you want to go on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You either got some serious balls or are dumb as fuck.
Yeah, or both.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nah, I don't need to test those waters.
No.
I'm good.
So I already asked previously when we watched The Conjuring, if you believed in ghosts and spirits, and you pretty much said yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel like that's definitely something that has, because it's worldwide. It's like there's all these stories, all these encounters that have happened, and I don't know. Whenever it comes to like experiences like that, I feel like it's like a very,
it's
like you feel it.
I feel like it's eye-opening.
Yeah,
so like you know that it's there. I guess.
I have to believe that there's more to this life than just like what we see. There's more to it than what we understand.
There's more to the material plane. There's more.
Yeah, there's got to be something more going on here because I don't know. It just makes. I feel like it makes life more
expansive.
That and I guess more. You kind of have like a better appreciation for it.
Appreciation.
Because like
yeah,
it's not gonna. I mean, ultimately, we all know this isn't gonna last.
right.
And at some point, it's all gonna come to an end, and whatever comes after, I mean, we're gonna have to face ultimately on our own.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there has to be more to this world, you know, than just this world.
Yeah, I know.
So,
yeah.
That's just my own.
But that was. I have a follow-up question from that.
Oh, okay.
So since you kind of like, pretty much believe in spirits and ghosts.
Yeah.
Do you believe in possession? Because the whole thing around Annabelle is that she wants to possess somebody. A spirit wants to possess a living, breathing soul and take over that body. So do you believe in possession of a person?
I did. I have heard some stories. One from my mom in particular that happened, like an experience my godfather who passed away.
Yeah, I mean, if it's too personal, you don't have to share it. But
it's not like a super personal thing. It was just a thing that happened when he was like visiting family. Where like a guy, like they were like literally just like drinking with like amongst like in my grandparents' place, legit got like possessed.
Really?
Yeah, like possessed, and like my godfather started saying like all these like things to him, and the like whatever spirit demon thing was basically saying like all these like negative things you're saying about me, and just like they basically are just feeding me. They are making me stronger. They are not affecting me.
Which is what demons do.
Yeah,
they feed off the negative energy to make
themselves
stronger.
Yeah. I'm just like just things like that and other little like stories that I've heard here and there. But like I definitely do believe like there's like if I am going to believe that there is more to this world than what is in front of me, I have to believe that there's also this whole other like
chance that the spirits can directly be involved with.
Can certainly have like some sort of influence because there are just things happen that we just do not have a way to explain.
Yeah,
and they're
because we don't know what the spiritual plane does or acts or how spirits can be involved in this way or that, or
we just don't know. And there's only one way we're gonna know,
is if we die.
Yeah. So,
and that's the spooky mystery of it all.
It really is the last big.
Because that's the thing that like nobody.
It's the last big adventure.
Yeah.
Outside of just living life.
Yeah, because man, I've always wondered like after this like are you stuck in like some like the in between for a while, or do you go straight to heaven, hell, like and you can get really philosophical.
There's also the theory of how I don't know if you've ever heard this theory about like how apparently the whole idea like concept of a soul or everybody having like their own life. What if it was all more like everybody is just living sharing the same life, but we're just living it through like another set of eyes.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, you've heard about that, right? Yeah. So like it's just all like a collective experience that when we all die, when like everything is all said and done,
comes together.
It all comes together with like a collective.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. I thought that was a very interesting way of I don't know, interpreting it, seeing it, thinking about it. I was like, well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? If it was all just like leading up to like one larger collective
grand event
that just helped us all understand. Good or bad.
Why we existed.
Everything, yeah. And I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the worst, I feel. if anything else,
And that's just like one perspective out of like probably thousands of others that can take the supernatural into different directions.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot out there that, people try to explain what ghosts are, what possession is, what, totems are, anything like witchcraft, just like all that.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
We're probably just not gonna have those answers answered.
So. Yeah, probably not. I mean, not when we're alive.
If not our generation, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? That would be something, right? Like
that would be
somewhere like down the line.
I feel like if somebody can actually like communicate like clearly with the other side, that would be like the biggest breakthrough of humanity. Like,
oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be bigger than anything.
I feel like it would be bigger than science. I feel like
anything as
like,
far as like space travel or technology.
Yeah,
or...
because us as humans, like after death, we know nothing, pretty much, except for like maybe there's some spirits, and that's
for what?
about it.
Yeah, for all our knowledge and what we can do with life, what comes after life,
it's a mystery.
There's
Like,
no
there's
no way of controlling that. There's
Yeah.
no way of knowing about that. There's no way of anything.
Because there's like I mean, not to be like religious, but all sorts of religions say this is what happens after life, but they're all different,
Sure,
Like,
it's just
so
one's interpretation.
and that's why it makes it mysterious, because everybody's interpretation of the afterlife can be different.
Ultimately, whatever it's going to be whatever makes you feel comfortable in the end. Because once you face that, so we all reach that point in our lives.
Yep.
Where we're nearing the end, like it's going to be whatever we feel the most comfort in. So everybody has their own beliefs, and it's just going to be you and whatever you believe there and then. And then if there is some greater power or other place that we all collectively go to, it's going to be you and that.
Yeah. So that was a long discussion about that.
It's very philosophical too, to be honest.
Yeah. Which
nice.
It does fit in with the whole
supernatural
spiritual possessions, supernatural vibe. Do you have
ultimately
any more?
Spooky vibe
Do you have any
so.
more questions? Any at all?
Nah.
Nothing
I think
more.
I'm okay.
I
think I'm okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only question I had for you. Was about.
I feel satisfied with that discussion.
Yeah. We kind of delved into that pretty decently.
Yeah, it's about spirits. It's about ghosts.
About spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff. Yeah, that's the whole vibe of the month. We have to. Respect our spooky, supernatural season, and just don't fuck with Ouija boards.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, there are so many stories.
If there is a creepy possessed doll, in a closed box,
don't open it.
Yeah, and it has all these signs saying don't open it.
Don't open it.
Especially if it's like these people who have dedicated their whole lives
protecting it from getting out.
You know what? I think that's fine in that box.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything to me. It's not doing anything to anybody.
Just close the lid and walk away.
I don't need to open this thing.
Yeah.
I don't gain anything from this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right where it is. So I'm going to just walk away. Legit.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I think...
Well, we are actually going to go to the summary.
Yes.
The summary and the ratings.
Yes.
Yes. Overall, how do you like this film, even though we've been talking about it?
I feel like it does make one think about these sorts of things too, to be honest. I mean, it's a lot of plot holes that we all like to.
It's a lot of plot holes. Yeah, obviously.
But I mean, ultimately, it's the reason the plot holes are there is for this movie to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to watch something like this and just like have a night of just like, wow, that's a dumb thing. Yeah. Let's see the consequences of these actions that they made, and it's basically like a more intense teenage rebellious experience that has. Yeah. Taken a bit of a dark turn. It
has a very different vibe than The Conjuring.
Yeah, because these are all kids.
Yeah, because it's still within the universe, but it's
I feel if anything, it makes it all that much more scary because like it's just like all these kids who have no fucking concept
of what its history is.
Yeah, like they don't have any real understanding of it, so it's very much like kids going around to like they accidentally just like open the Pandora's box of bad shit.
Yeah.
And now they have to deal with that. So, so if that's the kind of vibe you want to like sit down and watch, and maybe like talk a little shit on. I mean, hey, whatever enjoyment you get out of it, I think it is an enjoyable film. So
yeah, I could agree with you with all those points. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we want to rate it?
We're gonna rate it.
Yeah.
So far, the only thought that I can think of is
Okay.
what the year it was released on. So
Okay.
1 star is bad, and 2019 stars are the best of the best.
2019.
So 1 out of 2019 stars. What would you rate this film?
I would give it.
How many stars?
I'll give it a nice. I'll give it a 1900s.
Okay.
I'll give it like a 1900s.
It's pretty high up.
Pre-penicillin, you know.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper's out and about.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
But overall, you know, the Industrial Revolution is around the corner.
Wow. Okay. So like,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So literally like 1900.
It's not bad. I feel like it's not that bad.
Okay.
It's enjoyable.
All right. All right.
Maybe like 1800s, but 1900s.
Okay.
I feel like for what I got out of it,
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Okay. So like overall, it was a pretty decent.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out to Bob.
'Cause-
Bob's got balls.
Bob's got balls. Yeah. Especially like having a near werewolf encounter there.
Yes.
And then still coming back to
First-
fight.
first-
To hit a ghost with his guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a special kind of stupid and balls. You got Bob.
First, you got to try to sing to your crush. Then you got attacked by a werewolf. Now you're hiding in a chicken coop.
Yep.
You got balls.
And he's just swinging around a guitar.
Yeah. Boom. Out of tune.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
that's
would,
the worst
I
nightmare.
would want to be Bob
You mean?
there. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's is 1900s. What about you?
I would put it. Mine's a little difficult because I've watched all of them many
Right.
times. So I got to compare it between all of the Conjuring films and all of the Annabelle series because they all connect. And that's kind of like my issue.
If you were to see it as like a standalone, like your first experience, well, you probably would have been like me then.
So like, okay, so like you're saying if I saw this for the first time.
Yeah. So I guess you could have like both. You would have both perspectives as opposed
That's
to
what
me.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, if I saw this,
Yeah.
if I hadn't seen The Conjuring
Yeah.
and I haven't seen any of the Annabelles, seeing this film, it'd probably be like 1900s.
Yeah.
But comparing it to like the actual Conjuring series
Yeah.
and the Annabelle series, I'd probably put it like at the 1800s, a little lower than that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
That
'cause
was
it's
my
like-
initial thought at first. But yeah.
Just because it's like with all the lore and all the stuff that I know
Yeah.
about Annabelle, it was just like, well, I wasn't like sure about it.
Right.
They added a lot of stuff to this movie just to make it
Yeah.
spooky and creepy and stuff like that. And like I get it, it's really cool. I really
Yeah.
like the vibe of certain scenes. Like the one that they're doing right now is that they're going into the dark and see all these dead bodies with coins on their eyes,
Oh.
and they're all inside of coffins. I was like, that's really cool.
All right.
It's a really cool scene for me personally. So that's kind of why it's like up in the 1800s. Where
Okay.
there's some scenes where I'm just like, yeah, it's actually pretty dark and pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd put it at like 1850, like
Okay.
overall. So
Okay.
between the 1900 and the 1800, put it together 1850
Yeah.
out of 2019. Yeah,
Out of
2019,
2019 stars.
Yeah. which is a pretty good rating.
I think it's a very good.
It's
rating,
pretty
honestly.
decent. So
It's a decent film.
yeah, it is a decent film
Mhm.
and kind of decent series. The first one is, I wouldn't say it's like hated, but it's like it's not the best. So
Didn't really introduce us to the.
everybody
okay.
was really hyped for it, and then everybody saw it, and it was kind of like,
let down.
well, yeah.
Okay.
We expected more spookiness and creepiness because when they first introduced Annabelle and the Conjuring, everybody's like, "That is creepy."
You know, I will say that like I wasn't really like into like watching these movies back then. I
Yeah.
didn't really get onto the hype train as much, but like I did feel like the collective like backlash, I guess, is like absorbed.
could-
like I felt that the fans were kind of disappointed, and I was just
Yeah.
like, oh well, I wasn't gonna watch this anyway, so
Yeah.
now I definitely won't.
Yeah,
I guess.
it was
But,
a
yeah.
decent movie
Yeah.
at best. I feel like.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Annabelle Creation was, I felt like Annabelle Creation was the better of the three Annabelles. For me personally, because I like origin stories.
Yeah.
And second, it actually was pretty creepy.
Which is ultimately what you want in
Yeah.
out of a film like this.
Yeah, because the movie for that, it was all, well, I wouldn't say all, a majority of it was just actual children actresses.
Really?
That was the stars, was kids.
Well, I feel like that's one of the strong points for this one too,
Yeah,
to be honest. So.
but like let's say like in this instance, they were all Judy's age in Annabelle creation.
Ooh, no.
Was like,
well, that's bad.
I would say between 10 and like 15.
Yeah, no, that's...
Which were kids, actual
that's
kids.
some prime horror
And,
years right there.
Yeah, and near the end of the movie, one of the kids gets possessed by Annabelle.
Yep.
And that's how, pretty much since we're ending this Annabelle series, the whole thing with Annabelle is that the first Annabelle, she was an actual, girl.
Right.
And she got ran over by a car.
Ooh.
And her dad made these dolls, specific dolls, and he made, the first Annabelle doll.
Right.
And he didn't, her father didn't name the doll Annabelle. That was his daughter's name.
Yeah.
So pretty much the dead daughter's spirit went into that doll because she was attached to it because it was her father's, and they had a loving relation, a bond, yeah. And so that was kind of like the origin story of it.
Right.
And like way later in the future, the dad and his wife, they opened their home for like an orphanage.
Okay.
Because they're like they really miss their daughter. Like
they basically miss having a kid around.
They miss having a kid and her livelihood. So they're like, hey, let's get these. What was it? It was like the Catholic Church. They were the organizer of this orphanage, and they're like, hey, this guy is offering his entire home as an orphanage, and it was a pretty big home.
Mm-hmm.
So they pretty much they stay in that house in an orphanage,
right?
And they open the room that Annabelle was originally in,
okay.
And one of the girls ends up finding Annabelle's spirit, inside the doll, and they release the spirit unknowingly.
Well, yeah,
because they're like, oh, there's a doll.
It's a doll, closet. Yeah, legit.
Because they have absolutely no clue what it is.
Right.
So they're like, okay,
no, they just found a random doll in the closet. So
yeah. So they don't know any better. But then the girl who finds it ends up being the one possessed, and then she ends up trying to kill the other girls. She doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up trying, but then the girls escape, and so does the girl. And they can't find the Annabelle girl until way later when they show it in the Conjuring 2.
Wow.
As the opening scene.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think it's the opening scene where the Annabelle girl is all grown up.
Yeah.
And she ends up killing her adopted parents.
Oh, wow.
Because she's still possessed.
Jesus.
And she's like 20-something years old.
Jesus
Christ. Yeah, so that big connection and stuff. So.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. And that's kind of Annabelle's
origin
story.
Ish. Yeah.
Because they keep building. So. Well, they keep building to the series.
Here comes the hero
Bob.
of the story. Bob! Yeah. Get yourself a Bob.
Any closing questions, comments, or concerns?
I am concerned.
I'm concerned that we're out of drinks!
That? And I don't know if Bob's going to get the girl.
He does.
He just keeps coming at the last second, though. I'm like...
Spoiler alert, Bob gets the girl.
Well, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
Proud of you, Bob.
Yeah.
Broke his guitar. He's like, well, I hope I got this girl like that. That ain't cheap.
That's some sacrifice right there. Nothing else?
Nah. It's all good.
I think I'm good, too.
Yeah. I think we got it.
I think, in general, both of the Conjuring and the Annabelle series have been tried out.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing else to talk about those.
I think we covered it pretty extensively here, too.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we have for tonight.
Yeah.
We don't really have a closing.
God, we don't.
It's just kind of like,
God,
well,
we don't. It's just like, well,
that was the movie.
that's the movie.
That's the movie.
That's
the series.
today's podcast.
Pretty much just tune in for the next episodes with an S because there's D&D and there's movie reviews.
Yeah. Ooh, are we gonna do a D&D episode? No. It's every 2 weeks, right?
Every 2 weeks is the D&D episode, and every week is the movie review.
So we're gonna have to. We're gonna close the spooky season, I think.
We'll close the spooky season with both a D&D episode and a movie review.
Yeah.
So tune in for next week.
We'll see what we come up with.
Have we decided on a movie next week?
Ooh, crap.
I don't think.
I feel like we talked about it. I don't think we really decided.
Was it Insidious? Or was it something else?
It might have been something else.
I feel like it was something else.
Because I think, didn't we do one of the Insidious ones already?
No.
No, we did.
No, we have not. We'll decide.
Yeah,
we'll decide in the next week, and you guys will eventually listen. Maybe, possibly.
What are options?
Oh, the kitties are fighting. Kitty interference number 3. Throw a pillow at them.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Scatter!
Scatter!
Yeah, so.
All right, y'all. Well,
either way, it'll be some sort of horror, spooky, creepy vibe.
Keeping in line with the month.
Keeping it spooky.
So I guess stay spooky, everybody.
Stay spooky.
Yes.
That's right.
And beware the green.
Beware! No!
I think that's how we're doing this now.